be as brave as possible. They won't even give me a blanket because I have a fever. Everybody that comes in has to wear a gown, a mask, gloves. Being in isolation is a lot worse than being at home. After the first swab, I had to say, can you give me a minute? Just because it was so painful. It's scary to feel like it's out of your control. They don't really have any good treatments. When he got the results back, he said, I think it's likely you have. So here's the deal. My breathing is worse. And I think it's probably asthma, but after 3 days of antibiotic, I'm not better. Saturday, the day before Easter, unfortunately, my doctor, I just got off the phone with her, and she is not comfortable prescribing me anything. I told her I feel like what I need is a breathing treatment. She said, have you used your inhaler? And I have, and it hasn't helped. So she thinks that she just doesn't feel comfortable prescribing anything. It really sucks. I have to go to the ER because of the coronavirus. This is the last place you want to be. Like for me, being immune suppressed. So, Penny's on the treadmill. Gotta groom it. I gotta get back together. I'm scared. I know I shouldn't cry. But I'm gonna video what I can, but obviously this is the first importance is getting help. I gotta stop talking because it hurts more. And it makes me feel worse, but I have a feeling the breathing treatment is gonna make me feel so much better. This is the worst that my chest has been, so truly yesterday I wouldn't have said what I said to her today. I'm scared, but I'm gonna be as brave as possible. I'm gonna pray, ask God for strength and comfort. No matter what happens, I'm not scared of dying. I'm scared of feeling bad. And that may seem strange, but I have all confidence of what's going to happen to me when I die. The moment I take my last breath, I'm in the arms of God, in Jesus' arms. I have all confidence about that. I don't want to suffer, and I don't like feeling sick, and I have a migraine. I gotta start getting ready. So I gotta find a bag, and oh, my nose is running now. And I gotta really find all of Benny's stuff. We haven't obviously been out in a while, so I'm trying to think of all the stuff I need for him. It's there, but I need tissues. Packing right now. Oh, I forgot. I have to get. This is his stay. This is his treat bag. Even though he can do everything without treats, I still find it helpful. I use his food. Then I also have, part of a meal in there, which feels good. You never know how long you're going to be in the hospital. I'm really hoping it's because of the virus that nobody's going to be at the hospital. Print out my medication list. I'm trying to make sure I have everything for me, make sure I have everything for Benny. It's hard because, I'm not hungry right now, but I may be, and I can't just eat anything because I have a strict food plan. So I never ever thought this was going to be an option going to the ER, so I didn't think she would want to send me, but I understand she wants to make sure my chest is clear. I'm going to bring a high-value bone that I know Benny will chew no matter what's going on. You know, I have to think of him. It's not just me. I'm going to make sure he's good, you know, and this is not an easy situation for him either. You never know what you might need. The water bowl, a towel, wet wipes, my water, my food. I've got his, I've got a sweatshirt, I have medication, I've got hand sanitizer. My friend Vicky made me a mask. So I have my Vogue mask, but I'm gonna wear the one that Vicky made me. Pet dog Dash is going crazy. So I have a printed out sheet that has the names of all my doctors and, you know, has all my information on it. Almost ready to go. I'm miserable.
Right here.
Oh yeah, here's the emergency. The hospital is empty. There's nobody there. And it's very eerie, it's very surreal. When I got to the hospital, they stop you at the door. There was a big burly security guard and then two women. I started to tell them my lung involvement. My primary doctor sent me here because she's concerned. They handed me some hand sanitizer. Before I even came in, I was already wearing my mask. Walked through another set of doors and checked in. I only saw one, maybe two other patients. They checked me in. They put the bracelets on. I went to a triage area, got my weight, had me sit in the chair, and she took my temperature and she took my blood pressure and my pulse oximeter. I was sweating profusely at that point. I had actually brought a towel with me because I had just been sweating so badly. We talked more about symptoms and she did 3 tests. She did 2 flu swabs and a strep swab. The swabs are 12 inches long and they look like a huge Q-tip, so they have like a fuzzy end. She warned me, she said, Kelly, this is extremely uncomfortable. She said, it's gonna feel like I'm digging your brains out. She had me put my head all the way back, and I'm glad she did because I would have pulled away from her. So she did it in this nostril first and then in that nostril, and it hurt. It was really bad. And she actually had handed me some Kleenex before she did it, which kind of gave me the idea that something was gonna happen. So she did the first swab. My eyes immediately started to tear. I just kept my eyes closed and I just had to get my composure. It hurt so bad. I didn't want her to immediately go in for the second one because I knew I would say, get the heck out of my nose. She let me get myself together. I didn't cry, it just was that it was that painful. And then she did it the second time. The second time actually wasn't as bad, although it was bad. And then she did the strep swab of my throat. They did blood work. I asked her if they were testing me for COVID, and she said only if you meet certain criteria, and the doctor decides that, and it's a send away test. So at that point, I still was convinced it was asthma, and she commented that I wasn't wheezing, and I said, yeah, I know I'm not. You know, this is just what it feels like to me anyway. It feels like I'm not getting a full breath of air. It feels like I need a treatment to open me up. I asked for a wheelchair because she said it was going to be a long walk. I can't even do a short walk. She did the wheelchair. She was really concerned because she didn't want Benny to get squeezed in the doorways. And I was like, don't worry, he knows how to go behind you. I have a command. I had Benny go behind. We had to go out back through the entrance. I think they had repurposed everything because this is probably not how they normally do things. And the burly security guard let us into the ER. I was wheeled right into a room and I noticed that there were 2 sets of doors. There was a set of doors
and then there was like a nurse's station and then another door. The person helped me to the bed and she said, just get comfortable, and that was it. She left. There was a gown on the bed, but she didn't tell me to put it on, and I was not going to put it on if I didn't have to.
I just got here in the room and my mom's in the car. Hopefully I get a breathing treatment. They're all really nice, so it's going okay. I just got blood work and the flu test and strep throat test. He's doing really good. Everybody thinks he's a doll.
I got a phone call and it was from a local number, so I took it and it was registration. So I talked to registration, got them all figured out, and like no more than a minute later, I got another call from the same number, and it was a different person in registration, and she was sure I hadn't been checked in yet. And then the nurse came in, got all of my information. This nurse just had graduated in December and started in January. He's a new nurse and it's just kind of trial by fire, but he was great. He had another nurse working with him.
They have me in isolation, so I'm isolated. You can see door shut. And this is the room. They basically have me on precautions, and I'm in isolation because my breathing and all my symptoms. I have not been tested for COVID. I have not seen a doctor yet. Basically everybody that comes in has to wear a gown, a mask, and gloves. I had an chest x-ray, I've had an EKG, and I'm hooked up to the monitor. It looks like my pulse oximetry is 84, so I'm not breathing real great. That's not good for me. My pulse is 100, and I haven't had a blood pressure cuff. It is 2:20 p.m. and my mom is in the parking garage. I just told her to go home because I have no clue how long. The reason I know I'm in isolation is because I asked if I could go to the bathroom and they told me I'm not allowed to leave this room.
He was about to put all the leads on my chest and I said, can I go to the bathroom? And he said, well, you're in isolation, so if you have to go to the bathroom, you're gonna have to use a porta potty, so if you can hold it. And then he never brought the porta potty, and then they had a code called. Unfortunately, there was a helicopter involved.
So they didn't put me in a gown, thankfully. So we'll see. I hope I don't have COVID. They won't even give me a blanket because I have a fever. They won't give me a blanket if I have a fever because they don't want to make me hotter. So I don't have my sweatshirt's off right now. Trying to relax. I'll just lay back and relax. I have to say, being in isolation is a lot worse than being at home. It's very lonely. Benny's doing a great job. They wouldn't even bring the x-ray machine in here. They stood right there in the doorway because there's two doors. There's another door outside my door. That's why this is an isolation room. And they did the x-ray from outside the door. They moved my bed, so Benny had to move, but everybody didn't even know he was in here when they come in, so he's doing a good job. They did the nasal swabs, which were very uncomfortable, if I would say painful, to do those flu swabs, and they had to do 2. And then the strep swab, so I had 3 swabs. It was horrible. After the first swab, I had to say, can you give me a minute? Just because it was so painful. But they did an EKG too. It hurts to breathe, and it just is very uncomfortable, and I hope to have a breathing treatment. The thing is I'm not wheezing, so I don't know if it's asthma or not, but it's just, this is the way it is. He's doing really good. Really proud of him.
I said kind of over and over again to my mom about how nice the doctor was. She said, I told her friend that your doctor was very good, and she responded with, oh, did she have Dr. McDreamy? And Mom said, was he good looking? Yeah, he was good looking. He was really nice compared to doctors I've had. He made it easier, but it was really his demeanor. I mean, he could have looked like that and been cruel, and I would never have thought he was Dr. McDreamy. It was really his attitude. I mean, he may not have been good looking, and I just thought he was good looking because of his attitude and his bedside manner. I had to wait a while for the doctor, and the doctor came in and said, yeah, you have a fever. And he's like, I believe that it would be even worse if we put it in your rear. I was like, yeah, probably. So the good news is I don't have any asthma, wheezing. My lungs look good. I don't have pneumonia, which is really good. And my lung x-ray look good. My blood work looks really good for the most part. I think my white blood cell count's a little off it. He doesn't think I have a bacteria infection. My flu is negative. I don't have strep either. He says that he believes there's a high chance I have COVID. He said it's good that he said it's good that I don't have lung infiltration, so that's really good. He said I've been sick this long. Probably means I'm not going to get much worse, but if I do get worse, obviously I would come back in. He doesn't think that he's going to admit me, which is good. We'll see. I'm still here. But he said he feels like if he kept me here, they would just be watching me. It takes 3 days for the COVID test to come back. So they only call you if it's positive. So I don't know. I just hate the way that my lungs feel. Like the breathing really bugs me. And it's just painful. I mean, we're gonna do a breathing treatment even though I'm not wheezing, just in case. He's just doing it because I asked. So anyway, it's not great news, but it's good news that hopefully it won't get worse than this. I think that it is scary, but it's gonna be all right. He said my oxygen sats have been better when I'm resting and I'm not talking. So that's really good. It's been just from all the walking around and everything. He's doing really good. He's been sleeping. He was completely laying down, and even the nurse was standing over him, and he just looked up a little bit, and that was it. Our doctor said that he thinks it's COVID because it's gone on for so long. My blood work doesn't indicate a bacterial infection. It's interesting, he was looking at the stuff on the computer. It's right outside the store, and he had to keep the door mostly shut while he told me everything. It's crazy. He said I am a little dehydrated. My throat's not too bad. So hopefully a pain in my chest will get better. It just stinks that I feel so bad. It's crazy to be told that I have COVID. And I'm just thankful that it's not worse, because it's scary. It's scary to feel like it's out of your control. They don't really have any good treatments. It's 5 minutes till 3. I'm trying not to cry. I have to ask about quarantine for my parents.